What's up, everyone? What is up? Happy Sunday, happy fun day. What's everyone been up to this weekend? I managed to get my groceries at least done. I'm adulting over here. Woo. Huh. Apparently every genre of horror exists in SpongeBob in the first 3 seasons alone. What the hell? Oh. That's a mind. That's definitely wrinkling my brain right there. That's true. What's up? How's it going? I've been watching and loving Mr. Robot. Have you seen it? Of course I have. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the first season. The first season, I think, was the best season. And then after that one, you'll notice quickly that it drops off in terms of the quality and accuracy on a bunch of the stuff that they do. Because apparently authorities were really concerned with just how accurate things were and people were actually learning. God forbid we can't have people actually learning real cybersecurity concepts and what it's actually like instead of, you know, ooh, I'm in the mainframe. I've just taken down the whole government as a single person. Can't have that. Is there a way to increase the reading range on the NFC on the flipper? So technically, yes, there is. So NFC is designed for near-field communication. So essentially, if you have to understand it, I actually think I have an NFC card out here that I can use as a physical, just as a little sample so we can give a visual representation out here. Where did I put it? I got somebody's business card. I mean, no, that's a smart card. That won't do. That might work. Ah, here's the one I was looking for. Okay. This is a really good representation. The reason why is I can actually show you the physical antenna with the way they designed it. So this is a business card that I got from someone when I was at Hamvention, okay? I'm not affiliated with them, but they definitely had some really cool stuff that if I had more money, I would buy it. This is the, site. So it's an NFC, that is their business card. And then on the back, what I also liked is they had the band plan over here for their stuff. But anyway, that's not why I brought this out. So if you actually look at this, so you see basically right over here, this is an NFC card that he made himself. And that right there, that loop, that's just the band of antennas. So that's the, well, it's just one singular antenna. Now, all NFC cards, more or less, have this. So, essentially, all you need to do is amplify your radio to be able to read that. Now, the problem is, because it's NFC, it's designed that the signal will attenuate to the point that it can't activate. So, it's not it's having to receive, and I need to look up the specifics of how NFC works, but my understanding is, and I could be wrong here, it's actually sending a signal that then pings something back, because it's injecting power, because there's no power actually from the sky. So you would need to figure that out. Now, I know it's doable, but you would need to actually amplify the device. Now, the issue you're probably going to come across in specific to a Flipper Zero is I don't think the Flipper Zero puts out enough power for amplification of any meaningful quantity. So you would need an external device to amplify it, similar to what we have to do in ham radio and stuff to amplify our systems. That's just my hypothesis. Can it be done? Yes. Is it practical? Not really. Are there devices out there? Probably. I just haven't looked into it much. But the concept is pretty much straightforward there. It's more just about making sure your the antenna inside your Flipper Zero, or in this case you would have to use an external device, is more powerful. And thus, not only, well, the antenna has to be a better antenna, but also you have to be able to receive more power, send more power, and then I also think your antenna itself would have to be a little bit more sensitive. But we're talking in, so there's a lot of things that goes into it. Yeah. Thank you for the follow, Sixus. Six? That does not sound right when you say that. 6 UST. But yeah, just got The Wire on Blu-ray. Is that a show or something like that? I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah, no, it's just crazy. Love the beaded curtain. Thank you. Is there a way to put my cards on my Flipper Zero to tap to pay like a digital wallet? No, not for tap to pay. The reason why is, let me borrow my other demo card we have over here. So this is a little bit different, but the concept's going to be similar. This is a smart card that I play with. So this is, you may have seen these if you're in the military, known as a CAC card, a central access card. They're also known as smart cards. Anyway, yes, a YubiKey can act as a smart card too. But essentially, you're cryptographically signing this chip here. Okay? Now, with tap to pay, there is also, in the case of, you basically have this concept meshed with this one. I'm using different technologies. It's just, we're going high level here. You have an antenna in your credit card if you take it apart, just like this for tap to pay. But there's cryptography built into it. So there's not a way for you to really do that because tap to pay isn't really cloning your card per se. What it's actually doing is a negotiation with your payment processor to allow authorization of the card to be used in a digital card format. Essentially, Google and Apple have signed agreements with Visa, MasterCard, and such to allow these payment technologies. You would have to figure out a way to decrypt and clone a credit card. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's not likely with the technology today. And if you were able to do something like that, in the way the Flipper Zero works, from my understanding, you would essentially be proving that credit cards in and of themselves that tap to pay are insecure. So no, you can't really do it with a Flipper Zero, nor would you want to do it with the Flipper Zero. Let me make that very clear, because the Flipper Zero is not a very secure device. It just has an SD card. It doesn't offer any encryption. If somebody steals that, they then, in this potential scenario, could use your credit cards. So no, you can't do it, nor should you do it, even if you could. Just stick to using your smartphone for tap-to-pay payments like that. That's still going to be a little bit more secure in many cases because it randomizes the numbers. Question, why is privacy important to you? All right, let me ask you a question. When you're in public and you go to the bathroom, do you leave the door open? And you're going to tell me privacy isn't important to you when you're at the bathroom? Now, what do you think the, let's expand upon that. Do you want your financial information to be private? Or do you want the world to just know about those things? Do you want to have everyone know about your dating life? Or your bedroom life with your significant other? Everyone has a right to privacy. It's a basic human dignity. It's a basic human right. The whole fallacy of if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear is wrong. Everyone has something they want to hide. Even if it's, just a legal thing of, I just don't want people to know this about me. Privacy is an important thing to everyone. I'm sure parents want their kids' lives to be private. Wasn't to LBJ. That's a whole other story. We know he peed on Secret Service legs, okay? Can you identify a device based off the MAC address? Yes and no. Unless you're using randomized MAC addresses, which, if I recall, Apple does by default, you can. It's a little bit of a fingerprint, but it's easily spoofed as well, because it's not something that's, while it's technically hard-coded to the device, it's very easy to override. And you don't have to do this with any sophisticated software in Windows, Mac, or Linux. So, yeah, it is possible to, use Mac as a fingerprinting mechanism, but it's not completely foolproof. In most cases, you can. Just look up the MAC address. They have many databases of that stuff. Well, yeah, MAC address is public. for those things, you can look up the databases to figure out the manufacturer, at least by the beginning. Not is it not a hexadecimal, but the beginning parts of the MAC address are usually vendor specific, and then from there it goes on to a little bit more about the device. What game you playing? I'm still deciding what I'm gonna play. I've been torn up between Spyro. Thank you for the follow, Gerard. I've been playing torn between Spyro, going back to Schedule 1, or continuing Path of Exile 2. That's where I'm looking at. I got a lot of games though that I need to play. I just haven't gotten around to it. Also, I think I'm waiting for Borderlands 4 to come out too. That was another thing. I learned basic Linux, tiny bit of CMD. You mean terminal? CMD is a Windows DOS thing. Not trying to pick on you. And bash scripting in school. Now I'm watching Mr. Robot and I'm wondering where to start to learn more. Really, it's just about tinkering and things like that. There's a lot of different projects you can look up, like beginner Linux projects. There's the Linux from Scratch manual, which if you haven't heard about this is really great. It can really teach you about how Linux actually operates under the hood. I did this a few years ago and it helped me learn quite a bit. So Linux from Scratch is not a distribution. Linux from Scratch is basically a manual. Let me download this. Linux from Scratch is essentially a manual for learning how to wrap your own Linux operating system. Now, I will be honest with you and say, this is making a operating system, a distro that you have yourself. I would not recommend keeping that distro as your daily driver. This is a learning project. But this is a great way to learn a lot of the things under the hood in terms of Linux. That's a great project there. There's tons of different little projects out there. Like when I started doing a lot of my learning in my home lab and stuff, I actually started as a kid with game servers, similar to how many of you do today, except instead of Minecraft, we had Tribes and Tribes 2, we had Doom, we had, many other games that we hosted servers for, Quake and things like that. I was actually playing Tribes 2 last stream, I believe it was, and eventually I want to make my own Ultra XL modded server and hopefully get a bunch of people to play on that, but that's for another day. There's plenty of things out there. The best thing I can really advise you is just be curious. Start asking questions. Can I do this? How do I do this? And then start breaking things along the way. And don't be afraid of, thinking you don't know enough, because the honest truth is we all started knowing nothing. And you will break a lot of things along the way, and you're going to learn more from failure than you will success. Look, I've broken my network so many times, getting my networking knowledge up to snuff where it is now, and I'm still constantly learning. So, Tinker, Home Lab, those are the recommendations I have. There's also like Parrot CTFs, Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, for CTF platforms, but most importantly, hands-on, get your elbow deep into, tinkering with different things. That would be my advice. What's it, Delby? Okay. So I can't store my cards on my flipper at all. No, you can't store your credit cards on your flipper. You can store your NFC business cards and stuff like that, but you can't nor should you store your credit cards on a Flipper Zero. It's not a secure device. It is a fun toy to play with different things in security, but it in and of itself is not a secure device to store sensitive things on. Because you got to think about it. Somebody can pop that micro SD out, and then it's all theirs. It's not even encrypted. And that board inside of there doesn't really offer cryptography. It's not designed for that. I'm going for my A+ cert soon. Any tips? Like I always say, Tinker and Home Lab. Certs are okay to at least prove that you can pass a test. This is coming from a guy that literally did not have an A+, Security Plus, any certification. While I've been in the career field for over 10 years, the only certification I have is CISSP. Go big or go home, I guess. So my advice would be, great, you're getting your A+. I'm not by any means downplaying that. That's an accomplishment. You should be proud of yourself. But the application of the knowledge concepts to build experience are going to be more important than the cert in and of itself. That would be my advice there. So home lab, tinker, learn a lot of the base concepts out there. A+ will at least get you through understanding the doors, maybe for HR, for a lot of entry-level things, because you'll at least touch on things like change control, and then a lot of weird things that when I was looking over their study materials for a friend that kind of just didn't seem to really matter. Like, you need to know a little bit too much about a printer. Like, I know all those things about a printer because I had to grow up through that age, but I don't think most of you need to know about the various pieces and components of a printer, because in most cases, when a printer is effed up, you're calling the vendor or you're replacing the printer. That's just the honest truth. And, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be finding out it's more expensive to repair the printer than to replace the printer. Unless you're talking about those big Ricos and Xeroxes, but that's a whole other situation. Ladybird. Yeah, isn't that the browser, the new one that's coming out that's supposed to be now a competitor to Firefox, the Chromium, Monopoly, and Safari? It's kind of weird that those are the choices you have. Your browser's either based on Chromium, Firefox with the Gecko engine. Well, now, what is it? Quantum engine, I think they moved to? Or something like that. Either way, Firefox. Basically, your choices are Firefox, Chromium, or Safari. And Safari, I wouldn't really install on most machines. Speaking of the new King of the Hill, season is pretty good. Oh yeah, I finished watching it. I watched the entire thing on the way back from DEF CON. It was great. I think they did a great job of adapting Hank Hill to the modern era, and Bobby being an adult, going through those challenges and everything, puts a nice, interesting spin on it, because, like, last we dealt with Bobby, he was the perpetual kid. He never really grew up, and now he's an adult, and it kind of breathes new life into the show. Your thoughts on EU proposal to scan all private message. So I literally just recorded the video right before I started the stream. So there's about a 15-minute video that I will be having out. It's going to be out middle of the week. Long and short, your legislation is bad and you should feel bad. Yeah, basically, it's a whole cluster F. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the UK Online Safety Act. I don't agree with Ireland's anti-encryption law. I don't agree with the United States Kids Online Safety Act. I don't agree with the Take It Down Act because it's a little bit too harsh and can be, abused. I don't agree with chat control because it is counterintuitive. It's not just counterintuitive. It is incompatible with end-to-end encryption. And then, of course, these politicians say, good enough for thee, but not for me, and then apparently carved out themselves from being forced to have their stuff scanned. So they realize the need for privacy for themselves, but not for everyone else. And it's always under the guise of protect the children. But here's the reality, and a lot of people don't seem to understand this, because they always treat dark spaces as the boogeyman, and I talk about this in the video. The reality is, darknet, encrypted spaces, that's not where most of the bad things happen. Most of the bad things happen in broad daylight, in the open. Look at Roblox and what's happening with them. They literally banned Schlepp, who I just been learning about this story, he was doing some vigilante work to try to catch these, predators, doing a good job at it, and he got banned. And Roblox's lawsuits up the wazoo, like from many different parents. There's the Louisiana Attorney General is going after them. Like, there's a lot of people, and that's Roblox. And they're finding these innocent victims and then having them go to platforms like Discord, And I'm not inherent and like not, saying like Discord's completely at fault here. Yes, Discord could do better. They, in my understanding, they have done better than Roblox. But these predators are seeking out where kids are in broad daylight. They're not pulling them into these dark corners. That's the unfortunate reality of things, and people don't seem to understand. It's just a boogeyman argument to go after encrypted spaces because they want to be, and it's always under the guise of protect the children. Hey, live and learn. Day's going all right. What hardware would you recommend for firewall to VPN between 2 home locations and OS? Well, if you're talking about 2 home locations, you can easily go with a pfSense firewall. You can either build it yourself with off-the-shelf components. Just make sure you have a couple of network interface cards built in, preferably Intel. You don't need a lot of power behind it. My firewall has an 8-core Intel Atom server edition, to give you an idea, at 2 gigahertz or so, and that's even a little bit overkill. Just put both of those at both ends. Set up a VPN tunnel between the both. Ideally, you're going to want to have static IP on both so that you can actually route over the IP, but then you can also set up, with pfSense, dynamic DNS if you own the TLDs for it. You just buy domains off Cloudflare, Porkbun, whatever. If you buy those domains, you can use dynamic DNS and then route the VPN over that dynamic DNS route if you can't get a static IP. A static IP is preferably the better option of the two. There's also, things like Tailscale, TwinGate. There's many ways to skin this cat. Not that we're going to go around skinning actual cats. But yeah, basically you don't need a lot of hardware. Technically speaking, you could even do a Raspberry Pi and then get that routed between 2 networks, but ideally you want to do that at the firewall rather than at the actual, device behind the router, because there's other things going on with that. If you open up a traditional VPN to the world, there's a potential that it can be attacked. Attacking VPN entry points is one of the big things going on in enterprises, which is why a lot of these companies are moving from VPNs to zero trust network access, whether it be through Palo Alto, Zscaler, Cisco, or such. Basically just moves the liability over to them. Friends that let friends daily run their own Linux role. True. I've been obsessed with LLMs recently. Have you seen Wuzza MCP? I have not seen Wuzza's MCP. I still need to get around to playing with Wuzza. It's just, I have a bunch of things that I've been wanting to do in my home lab I just haven't gotten around to doing. Is it really true that you can steal a car with a flipper? Potentially, yes. I've talked to a few friends that have played with this firmware. Because the rolling codes inside of cars, it's not a very sophisticated system. There is a way to do it, but the issue is, when I was talking to one of my friends who has access to that firmware, is that it also bricks your key, because the way the rolling code works is once you use it on that, then the key is misaligned on the rolling code, or I forget how he explained it to me. It is potentially possible. There's always going to be this chicken and egg game, or cat and mouse game, when it comes to security and, having your stuff more secured. That is why I'm still a big proponent of, a physical key. Yes, I know you can pick a lock, all that. I'm not going to argue against that. But it's a little bit more involved to pick a physical lock than an electronic lock in many cases. Now, with electronic locks, the argument can be, it's a little bit more secure. But the problem is, once they're actually broken, none of the vendors are actually going to go out and release software updates, even if you voluntarily bring your car into the dealer to update the cryptography of these machines, and then also update the keys and everything, because that's a lot of money that they're just going to lose. So, yeah. But my understanding is that firmware is not public knowledge. It is very restricted by the manufacturer, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually that leaks out into the public. It's only a matter of time. I'm learning Python right now and picked up a Python crash course book. Any other recommendations? Pick up random Python projects. So how I started actually was when ChatGPT was really, really crappy. I just started putting together little pseudocode projects to get it working, understood how Python worked. Of course, it spat out a lot of bad code, which meant I had to learn that. And actually, I like when it's that way because then you learn the problems and you're forced to actually troubleshoot and think about it. But yeah, just give yourself random projects and figure out how to code them together to get what you need to have done. Python's a pretty straightforward language as to compare to something like C. So yeah, that's what I would definitely recommend. Just like think of like, oh, I want to make a calculator, or I want to do this kind of like a compound interest calculator is what I also have done, or I want to, you know, figure out how I can do this, or how I can have it make graphs, things like that. There's tons of different things out there. Just think of very basic projects that you know they can be done very simply, and then learn how they can be done in Python. Sometimes it's going to be a matter of you're going to bring different libraries in, and then, yeah. But I do overall like Python. It's one of my most used languages, especially at work. Are there such things as burner phones anymore for ultimate anonymity in USA? Yeah. Just go in a store like Walmart or something, pay cash for a phone. It's been a thing for years. Still a thing. You can easily go get a burner phone. Just go into a place, pay cash for a phone, buy minutes. That's it. In fact, I actually, regularly when I'm dealing with people who are victims of domestic violence, that is one of the things I actively recommend to many of them, is go get yourself a burner phone. And even if a phone doesn't have minutes, you can at least dial 911 with it. So yeah, flea market's another option too. There's many ways to get a burner phone, and they're very inexpensive. I think you can get some for as low as like, what, 50, 60 bucks? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat here. It's been a minute since I bought a burner phone. Mine are all secondhand. There are still cameras when you go to get a burner phone. It depends on the place you're at. There's some places you can go. Just paying cash. Chromium is fine. Chrome is trash. They're both Google. Ain't right. What streaming services are you responding to comments on? I'm on the green site, the purple site, the red site, and the site with the musical note, if that's what you're wondering. I have multicast to the different platforms. Same username on all of them. And by the way, I think the new ISP has fixed a lot of the streaming issues. Of course, I'm probably going to jinx it now. Do any of the ones making the decisions even understand how all this stuff works? You talking about with the chat controller? No. The average politician literally does not understand how these things work. I've actually had discussions when I've gone to some functions to meet my local politicians and stuff, and they've been floored by how little they actually knew about the field. And when I get into it, you can see their eyes gloss over, and I say, see this? And when I catch their eyes glossing over, I say, see this? That's why I know you're not qualified to actually speak on this kind of thing. You should surround yourself with experts that actually can steer you in the right direction. But that's been the problem with, cybersecurity, hacker culture as a whole. We have been demonized for so many years, even though most of us just have a curious, playful nature with different things. What was it? PGP. Was it Phil Zimmerman, I think was his name? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Almost got arrested for exporting controlled munitions or something like that because of encryption. You could only have an encryption to a certain point. This was in the 90s, if I recall. How to set up a sinkhole for no ads. Well, you can set up pfSense with pfBlocker NG and then grab a bunch of the lists in there, or you can set up a pie hole and then only do the DNS side of it. But here's the honest truth when it comes to the no ads sinkhole. I'm going to tell you from firsthand experience. In many cases, it can degrade your browsing experience, and it's getting worse and worse that way. Because a lot of sites now, it's different than when it was when I started blocking ads and everything, where they would just load the site and then it would error out on that part. Now they're checking to make sure certain things are loaded, and then won't allow you to access the site unless you disable the ad blocker. On YouTube, you'll actually have these significantly long pauses that are longer than the ad would be with you skipping it. So it's this balancing act, because I'm finding myself having to whitelist more and more ad networks and servers in order to at least access the basic internet as I need it. It's unfortunate, but it is the reality. Do you think Watch Dogs 2 are good representations of hacking, tinkering? I have actually not played those games, and I keep having people recommend that I play them. Well, eventually we'll have to play them. So, no comment. Good starter projects? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. You want to host a web server? Do you want to host an... Okay, friends don't let friends run their own email servers, but, you know, you can host an email server. Game servers, pretty good idea to learn hosting different projects, especially behind a network. There's, you know, hosting a NAS, network attached storage, cloud storage, like a Nextcloud kind of thing. There's plenty of projects out there that'll at least get you familiarity with a LAMP or a LEMP stack, Linux Nginx or MariaDB or MySQL and PHP, or Linux Apache, MariaDB or MySQL and PHP, which is a foundational stack for a lot of things like WordPress and stuff like that. Yeah. There's a lot of different starter projects out there. The best recommendation I can have for you is, what is it, Our Home Lab on Reddit. There's different ones out there you can pick up ideas for. There's also a book in the Discord, a PDF that one of the community members put up, I think HBX. If you check the pinned comments in the general chat of my Discord, links are in bio, there is a PDF about 600 or so pages with tons of beginner projects you can home lab and tinker with. And almost all of it is using open source software. So, there's still cameras when you go to get a burner phone, etc. Oh, where? So basically you find a lot of the markets that don't have cameras on them. A lot of, like, the, bodega type things, like, a lot of the, like, ethnic shops that cater to minority communities, they often don't have, like, that great of a security system that can actually record you, stuff like that. There's not as many cameras as people think on a lot of these things. You'd be surprised how many times I've walked into stores and it's a fake camera to just fake people out and think they're on camera. Because not everyone has the money to put an NVR and or DVR and that. So not a chain store. Absolutely not. Yeah, if it's a chain store, it's probably going to have a security system put in to record you and stuff if you're trying to go get a burner phone, especially if you're in a DV situation and you're trying to stay private. Yeah, you know, you'd have to look for something like that. A lot of gas stations, I mean, yeah, they often do have cameras and stuff, but you'd be surprised. Yeah. Yeah, give or take, offer up. No, never mind, needs phone and email. Okay. What about AI taking over cybersecurity entry-level jobs? I don't think they're going to take over cybersecurity level entry jobs. And the companies that are doing that are going to learn sorely how that is a mistake. You're going to see AI LLM tools as tools that cybersecurity is going to use to enhance, augment, or offset their job. Like what I'm using for a lot of my things. But there's a difference between using it as a tool and using it as a crutch. Because you have to remember, AI LLMs at the end of the day are just another computer. And as we know with computers, garbage in, garbage out. So you're still going to have a human to oversee those things. And LLMs can't catch all the nuances of, you know, an attacker trying to do certain things. You're still going to need to have a human intercept a lot of the things going on there. Well, interact with a lot of the things. So like a lot of the things we have AI and LLM doing, it has to require human intervention, but the human is at least informed more, much more expeditiously than they would have identified the issue themselves. But a human ultimately is the one that can enact the remediation options. Quick knock. Quick. AI cannot do the actual real interactions between people when compromises happen. Yeah, in many cases, that's true. Like I was saying, having tech-illiterate representatives make laws about what they don't understand is annoying, to be honest. Well, yeah, because most of these politicians are lawyers. Most of them actually don't know crap outside of being a lawyer. Look at the political makeup, the background of all the politicians just in the United States. They're almost all lawyers or with some legal background. Very few have any background beyond that. I think I can name on like one hand the people that don't have that kind of a background. Like you've got Rand Paul. He's a ophthalmologist, if I recall. You have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who was a bartender, if I recall correctly. There's probably a few others, but like you can more easily, it would be easier to name the people that aren't lawyers in Congress than are, because that'd be most of them. I'd say roughly 90% at least are. What's up, Serious Matter, over on the green site? Have you ever watched Toy Story? Of course I have. I had to whitelist YouTube after they started blocking access after 3 videos with ad block on. Yep, I had to do similar. Is this a podcast? No. This is Patrick. Just snagged a 2 terabyte M.2 to load Linux and switch on over from Windows. Any advice? Windows will mess up your bootloader for Linux unless you do it with Windows being the bootloader, so be aware of that. Because you'll do a random Windows update, and then you'll just nuke your Linux bootloader side of things, where Linux will actually be there, but you just can't boot to it. So sooner or later, you'll probably find that you're going to hate Windows so much and use it so little that you're going to actually end up just being on Linux. Trust me, I and many other people I know have done the whole dual booting trend and then find, oh, we barely use Windows. Let me reclaim that space. That's just my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. Security cameras aren't even expensive. Well, security cameras may not be expensive, but people actually knowing to wire that stuff up the way they should and then do all that stuff usually is. And you'd be surprised how many shops I've walked into that they've done things improperly or aren't mindful of the not propagation, the coverage basically of the cameras that you have, how far that angle can go. There's a lot of people that I've walked into their shops over the years when I was back in an MSP and would just be shocked at how poorly misconfigured their system is, how many times I've walked in and they have a security system, but it's not even recording, or various other things. You'd be surprised. What's up, Serious Matter? Oh, you hopped over to the purple site. Is skills inserts enough to BRE? I'm gonna presume you're saying break into the field? Skills, if referring to experience that you can actually have, yeah. The honest truth is, I've been in this field without certs. My first cert and I've been in the field for over 10 years, was the CISSP, which you can only get the full CISSP after you've had 5 years of field experience if you have a 4-year degree. I don't have a 4-year degree. So you can get the field experience. It's a lot of nose to grindstone, but the honest truth is a lot of people trying to get a job overlook this one important part of trying to get a job. You must network. And I don't mean an IPv4 and IPv6. I mean that you must actually go out into networking activities to go meet people, because a lot of times you're going to find that most of your job opportunities are not going to come from what you know, but who you know. I passed several jobs. All were the result of I knew someone that needed someone, and I happened to fit these skills. Or I knew someone who knew someone that needed someone. And then that person can vouch for you, and it's a lot better. Because the problem is right now as well is a lot of people don't have base soft skills, which Brosh actually was talking about. But you also have an issue where there's a lot of scammy and scummy activities in terms of LinkedIn and stuff, where they're trying to get jobs and people are scamming people trying to look for jobs. But yeah, it definitely, I would say it's very hard getting your first job, but once you get your first job, it gets easier from there. And I know it sucks to say that and hear that, but that's the honest truth. Dude, being a semi-technical person, I didn't realize how people don't try what I consider to be the simplest things. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. There's honestly a lot of times where you look at things and you're like, this was so simple to figure out, and you have to put yourself in the shoes of a person that doesn't know any better and have them realize they don't know what they don't know. I was completely ready to drop Windows. I don't want to lose files in the secondary drive I have. So move it over to another drive and then have a NAS to back all that stuff up. The honest truth is, if you're that, this is a general IT, PSA out there. Let me get my serious voice on over here. If you are worried about losing your files, and they are very significant importance, then you should have already been thinking about how you're going to back those up. Remember, 3, 2, 1. 3 different backups on 2 different mediums, and one of them being off-site. You always need to consider the SHTF situation. What happens if your computer blows up, or there's a fire in your building, and you just, you have to consider those options. So, if you're ever in a situation where you're worried about your files being lost, that's an indicator that you should be focusing on a backup system. Also, check your backups regularly. I'm following all the chats, so I have a little window over here. Hold on. I can show this. Let's switch over to the camera on a gimbal. Okay, it doesn't look as nice as my Sony, but you can get the picture from here. So do you see that? Do you see that? I have a whole other monitor with all your chats from all the platforms. Now, I can't, show that on stream because apparently the purple site is just a little B, and, it's like, well, we can't have that happening. That's a policy violation. Apparently YouTube doesn't care about it. All right, let's see. For all tech jobs, you need baseline soft skills, i.e. get through interviews. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the problems that I notice with a lot of people, that when you come into a lot of people that get into cybersecurity and IT as a whole have this huge misconception of, and this happens very often, I'm introverted, I don't like dealing with people, I just want to deal with the tech and, don't have to deal with people. I just blew someone's headphones off, sorry. That is wrong. That is wrong. You will always have to deal with people at some level. You will always have to know how to go through a human interaction and deal with people that are multiple stakeholders at different levels, especially if you want to level up your career. Even if I want to stay perfectly technical like I am right now. But it's an unfortunate reality when a lot of people, tell me they get into tech because they don't like dealing with people, and then I have to tell them, well, you're going to still be dealing with a lot of people. But yeah. People can get certificates for 4-year degrees, etc. through other ways. I see that stuff happen. Agreed. The entire LinkedIn is a joke to those who know how to move through the spaces of hacking. Well, yeah, LinkedIn, let me put it this way. Your managerial types, the people that aren't going to be so technical, those are the ones I find use LinkedIn a crap ton. Those are the ones that, are people managers, that like to interact with people and all of that stuff. Leading back to my previous point where you have to learn soft skills and things like that. But your actual hackery types, those that are deep into cybersecurity and all that, we're floating in a whole bunch of different ways than LinkedIn. I don't even touch my LinkedIn. Most of the people I know that are in the field of cybersecurity will tell you they barely touch LinkedIn too. I went through a hurricane and learned this the hard way. Yep. Secure Vault. Yep. I lost so many videos I was starting to convert from family camcorders. Yeah, that unfortunately happens quite a bit. I have backups of my stuff. Sobbing about being told the importance of backups while knowing you don't back up. No. LinkedIn, the devil. Oh yeah, LinkedIn is definitely the devil. It definitely is the devil. But yeah, like, I really don't like LinkedIn. I hate the fact that, like, every recruiter and stuff needs you to deal with LinkedIn or that. Can you recommend some good NAS for less than 500? So you can honestly build your own and use TrueNAS with a secondhand machine if you want. Get a couple of hard drives in there for a inexpensive RAID. That's a redundant usage because it's redundant array of inexpensive disks. But anyway, there's also QNAP. QNAP is pretty good. Synology was pretty good, and then they started pulling a dick move, requiring you to use their hard drives. I have a Synology. I like it, but I'm not buying a Synology when I need to replace this. I will probably be going QNAP or build my own TrueNAS. LinkedIn is a Reddit circle jerk without the anonymity. Pretty much. I just don't like LinkedIn. What is your new ISP? A less shittier one. They're all shitty. I still don't have fiber. I want to get my fiber. I want to get lower latency and synchronous file transfers. I don't even understand LinkedIn. I just joined Reddit. Nobody really understands LinkedIn. Well, the thing you need to know about LinkedIn is where executives go around to give themselves a high five and jerk themselves off on their own accomplishments. And just like the guys from, South Park, when they bought the Prius, they smell their own farts. Okay? Nobody really uses LinkedIn the way it's intended. And when they do, it doesn't work that well. It's horrible. I've only used it to like connect with recruiters when I was looking for jobs, and even then, it's BS most of the time. I hate LinkedIn. Is Zongi Messenger safe app? I don't even know what that is. So I'm gonna say, probably not. But I could be wrong. But I haven't even heard of it. So. Did you say QNAP for NAS? Yeah, QNAP is pretty good. Favorite OS? Bruh. If you're gonna ask that question and you're on the TikTok side, you can see my logo. It's a penguin. It's ducks. So of course it's gonna be Linux. At least until BSDs get a lot more capable. Are LinkedIn lunatics? Oh god. No, like which Linux? Oh, so which distribution? You didn't say operating system. I daily use Pop OS. I also use Cubes OS. I also use Debian 13. And I also use Parrot OS. For different reasons. They all have their perks. I use on my Graphene OS, Pixel phone, Zongi, and Session. I've never heard of Zongi. I've heard of Session, but I don't know anyone that uses Session, so we all end up being on Signal. Like, seriously, if you go to DEF CON, when you go to DEF CON, yeah, I got 2 of these flags. I hung that one over there. This one is just for me to be annoying. When you go to DEF CON, people will ask you for your Signal. A lot of people have my Signal. That's how we do things. But I don't know anyone that does Session or Zongi or half this other stuff. I know we shun WhatsApp at DEF CON. I know that. We know like the metadata. East Nobles, we know. What's your opinion on Mac OS? I'm a scorned Apple user. I came from Mac OS. There's a lot of things I don't like about Mac OS. From the weird shortcuts and stuff they have on the keyboard to it's not as intuitive as people claim. I don't like the fact that Apple updates completely brick entire workflows. Like, I've literally seen where an OS update will break my entire VirtualBox when I was using that years ago, which is partly why I had to get off of Mac, because I was doing a lot of virtualization work, and my VirtualBox doesn't work. I can't do a lot of my work at the time. What's DEF CON? DEF CON is one of the largest cybersecurity and hacker conventions in the world. I've gone 3 times. I love it. It's like I have a whole other family there. We're hacking stuff. We're partying hard. Hack hard, play hard. I got a lot of my t-shirts there too. This one was from the Tor Foundation. Okay, I have Molly. It's the same as Signal. Well, I mean, if you're rolling Molly, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a good signal, you know.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mac, Windows, Linux, the best path. Either way. Either way works. I am definitely going to have to make a stream marker for that and pull that clip later. Look, you're not following me for the family-friendly vibes. You were with me at DEF CON, you would know that, you know, I can be family friendly, but there was a lot of alcohol involved at DEF CON. At least at night. As a casual user who wants to be productive, would you say Mac is better than Windows? No. No. I would have said that was the case many years ago, like back when Apple actually had PowerPC, but the honest truth is Mac is actually more of a hindrance to workflow for a lot of things in many different regards. Like, so years ago, it used to be that Mac was the computer that you would recommend to anyone that, no joke, you want a gaming computer? Get a Mac. You want to do some music design? Get a Mac. You want to do some graphic design? Get a Mac. Or Amiga back in the day. Either way. But you want to do movie editing? Get a Mac. But the honest truth is, there's nothing unique about Apple anymore when you think about the entire experience and everything. Hear me out here. What do most people use for graphic design? You've got Canva, you've got GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Processor, not the slur, to make that very clear. We've got Photoshop, of course, is like the de facto tool. Photoshop runs on Windows. GIMP runs on Mac, Windows, and Linux. Canva is web browser based. There's probably a few others I'm not thinking about, like Inkscape, stuff like that. Okay, so immediately, you don't necessarily need Mac for graphic design anymore. Video editing. What are the main tools people are using for video editing? Well, again, you've got Adobe. You've got DaVinci. DaVinci runs on Mac, Windows, and Linux. Okay, so you no longer have Mac getting the edge there. Okay. You want to do gaming? Well, Mac is definitely not the gaming platform anymore. You want to do music creation? Okay, you maybe have GarageBand and Apple. But there's so many music creation studio suites that aren't even in Apple, Apple specific. Like Sony, I think, has their own. You've got Fruity Loops that I know a lot of people use. There's tons of the others. Like, you know, Apple does have a couple of specific ones that people still have high regard for, but they're not the only ones in town. I know entire music producers that have never used a Mac. But then we talk about office work, like true document creation and all of that stuff. Well, the king there is Microsoft Office. And Microsoft Office on Mac versus Windows. I've run into so many issues with Mac on Mac Office on Mac. Microsoft, they make sure it works on Windows. Not to mention, if you're in an enterprise environment, you're going to start using Active Directory, Intune, things like that. And mobile device management inside a Windows ecosystem is a lot easier in my experience than in Mac. So Mac used to be the platform I would recommend to everybody. I used to use Apple for servers. I had the Apple X serve I used to deploy. I had the Apple laptop. I mean, hell, my old MacBook is here. This is my old MacBook. But Mac is so damn expensive. I want you to think about this. Go spec out a MacBook for basic use. We'll do it together. All right? We're just going to go for not even a fancy. Well, we'll do the fancy, but we'll just do like, okay, so we're looking at, let's make it simple. Let's go with a MacBook Air, okay? So you want a MacBook Air. Okay. 13-inch. You can probably get away with that. Most people are probably going to want a 15-inch if you're actually working on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Okay. Now, they at least did bump up and learn that you're going to want 16 gigabytes of memory. But remember, that's unified. So you're still talking $1,200 start point at that point for a very basic MacBook Air. And mind you, this doesn't have a fan, so if you're doing sustained loads, you're going to need the MacBook Pro. And the only difference between the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air is the Pro has a fan. And it's a little thicker. I'm not even joking. So let's say we even want to just get to 32 gigabytes, which is kind of being the recommended standard. 512 gigabytes, which is kind of middle of the road for people to use. You're looking at $1,800 right there. Whereas, let's just go to Dell. I'm just going to pick one out at random. I also like Lenovo, but, you know. Let's see. View all laptops. I think, what is it, the Vostro line, unless they changed their names. God damn it. Well, like, you see, like, base models here, 600 so bucks. Now, of course, this is home, or, you know, you can get Pro. Screw the Alienwares. Like, but though, even Alienware, look at that. Starting at 5070, and you can get an NVIDIA GPU in there. But the point being, you can easily get a, you know, computer to do a lot of the basic things they're wanting. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, that M4 is so fast. Compared to what? You're going to talk about battery life. Okay. But the reality is, a MacBook can't even handle half the workloads I do on my Parrot laptop. Definitely can't do my Cubes laptop stuff. So, Apple is living off of their brand name, and they are more, if anything, akin to a luxury brand. That's what they're catering to. Their luxury status. They are essentially the Gucci of laptops, and I don't mean that in a good way. What I mean by that is you are basically buying them to rep someone else's brand. You're not using it because you know it's best for your workflow. You're using it to present a certain status. Some people might argue against that and say, well, no, I use it because, you know, it's better for coding and stuff like that. It's only better for coding in Apple-specific instances. Because most of the Mac users I know are using Microsoft Visual Studio Code, which runs on Mac, Windows, and Linux. And there's a lot of headaches that I've had when trying to Dockerize things inside of Mac. Just Docker, there's like weird nuances, and then you'd have an update, and then things would break, and then... It says a lot when I, as a Linux user, would rather use a Windows computer with Windows subsystem for Linux than use a Mac. That's just my 2 cents. As a casual user... Okay, I already answered that. Do you do cloud storage? Yes, I do. But normally what I do for cloud storage is... So I do have an Office 365 subscription amongst other things. Because I do play with Microsoft 365, Entra, things like that. Playing with EDR and stuff like that. But I also use things like Backblaze, AWS S3, Wasabi, all those different S3 buckets for different providers in various ways to store encrypted backups of things or manage certain projects. So yeah, I use cloud storage in various different ways. That's just par for the course if you're going to be working in this field. If I never started using Mac, I would have never gotten hooked on WoW. I think you would have been better with, I can't say it because TikTok will punish me. But a certain habit that has to do with, it's synonymous for women who save people's lives. Like Wonder Woman. She is a, what's the female version of hero? There you go. I kid. Sort of. Alienware is top of the line. That's what my kids got to learn and play with. Alienware used to be okay. They've always been an overpriced brand, but I think that when Dell bought them, they kind of went, in my personal opinion, just don't buy iBuyPower or anything like that. The Lenovo gaming laptops haven't been too bad from what I've played with. But I'm definitely more partial to like the System 76 Tuxedo computers and MNTs and Nova Custom laptops. Those have been doing really great for me. In fact, I'm deciding what's going to be my replacement laptops. Next year, I want to possibly replace my Cube's laptop. Not that it's going bad, but it's just getting old, and I want to replace it before things happen. And I was looking at Nova Custom for that, but I was also looking at what I want to replace my Parrot OS laptop. And I was thinking of getting another Tuxedo Computers laptop for that, because Tuxedo Computers allows me to customize laptops in ways that System 76 doesn't. Don't get me wrong, I like System 76. I have no complaints with their stuff. I use it currently as my Parrot OS laptop on the Pangolin laptop I've had for a few years, and I'm about to replace the battery for it, because when I was at DEF CON, I realized it was only holding 40% of the charge. But I do want to get laptops that ideally can work off of USB-C PD. That is my goal. My Purism Librem 14 does for my Cubes laptops. That's not so much of an issue. My Parrot laptop, however, still uses a barrel jack. That's a little bit older. Windows, on the other hand, I use my Panasonic Toughbook. I want to get a Panasonic Toughbook or the Dell Rugged laptops for my Parks on the Air setup. When I start doing ham radio out in parks and everything like that, I'll probably start getting set up for that around Hamvention. That'll be May of next year. Toughbooks are expensive. Not if you buy them secondhand. I don't need that powerful of a Toughbook for a Parks on the Air laptop. Like, I literally need just like 8 gigabytes of memory. 4-core CPU would be more than enough for what I need. You get a limited number of days off each year, more or less. I think, what is it? I get like, hold on, let me do the math. I get 18 days off a year by default, but I get to roll over like 40 hours if I don't use them. Just put an RPi 5 in a Pelican box. Well, you see, the problem with when you do that is people start asking questions when you're at TSA. Don't ask me how I know that. I got enough questions going through TSA with this. Hold on. It helps if I turn it on. So this is the Aerospace Village badge. Don't know why you're taking your sweet time to boot. Nope, my badge did not error out. Didn't question my ESV EMP ray gun badge. I think after you leave DEF CON, the entire airport's just kind of like, F these nerds. Because, like, I got more ridicule flying into DEF CON with my 4 laptops than I did flying out. Here we go. So, yeah, imagine going through the TSA with this. But imagine I also have an antenna plugged in, and I'm seeing planes. So no joke, when I was flying to Portugal a few months ago, on the first leg of the plane ride, I had no one next to me, so I sat in the seat, stuck the antenna in the window, and was just watching my badge as I got the planes and all the information, and I was logging them. And I got looks from some boomer Karens around me, like, that were worried. Like, they were seriously, like, probably thinking I was about to go, boom. I can make that joke. I'm Moroccan. Hey, what's up, Sherry? How you been, buddy? But yeah, so a flight attendant came over to me while I had this badge. And remember, there's the antenna coming out of here, sticking over the window, and, you know, people are weirded out, like, am I gonna do something? And she comes over, flight attendant, really sweet, and she's like, are you doing okay? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm watching planes. And, like, you could see this sigh of relief over her. And you could see, like, this was like the equivalent of like me saying like, I like to watch the trains. This is how I think I am on the spectrum because I do stupid stuff like this. But like, yeah, like imagine you have this little radar with all the planes and everything like that. And like suddenly, you know, everyone of course is going to think like, because you know, you have these old boomers that just don't know any better. And there's me on a plane with a radar looking device, just staring at it, taking notes, with an antenna sticking out the window. Yeah. Although it was kind of funny when I was flying through, it was like they had I had my ham radio in my bag going to DEF CON. I had my mesh tastic in my bag going to DEF CON. I had all these antennas sticking out of my bag. I had all these laptops and everything. Yeah. Thought you said you were a rocket. Looks like a comic villain. Jeez. Portugal, what's going on there? So I went to Portugal a few months ago for Web Summit, as well as to check out the offices for where I work to see about transferring over to the EU, which potentially may happen. We'll see. That's still floating up in the air. Yeah, I'm not traveling with you. What was the best device that you had for Linux on a phone? I'd probably have to say the Pine phone, but I think the Pine Phone Pro, which I was looking to actually get, is being discontinued. The Pine Phone. This is the keyboard case you can add to it. But the honest truth is, pure Linux on a phone still has a lot of improvements that need to be done. It's a little bit clunky. Don't move to EU. It's super anti-free speech. Have you been in the USA lately? With the way COSA and a bunch of other things are going, it ain't that much better. The world's going to hell in a handbasket. And I don't quite have the money for my own private island. I think I freaked that lady out because I got very excited about an A380 landing at the same time. Yeah. You know what it's like? Okay, so have you ever seen Wayne's World? When Garth goes hard on the drums? I always feel like afterwards, it's like, I like to play. Did you say Pine Phone is being discontinued? I said the Pine Phone Pro. Pine Phone discontinued. Yeah, so a few days ago, Pine Phone announced that they are going to be discontinuing it. Well, they're going to have a RISC-V version, but there we go. Pine Phone Pro discontinued. Let's pull it up from Lily Puting. Pine Phone Pro Linux smartphone has been discontinued, but the original Pine Phone is still available. So for those of you that don't know, the Pine Phone Pro was slightly more powerful. Basically, you had an RK3399, which is a pretty nice CPU, versus an all-winner A64, and a little bit more memory. So it was a little bit better device for these kind of things. Wi-Fi 5 versus Wi-Fi 4, better camera, better sensors, better all that stuff. But of course, it's like a $400 unit. That's why I think a lot of people didn't get it nearly as much, because it was kind of expensive for a Linux-only phone, which was basically just going to be a tinker device, whereas the Pine Phone itself is a more reasonable $150, $200. I still would prefer the PinePhone Pro, especially if I'm going to get like a Kali Net Hunter device. We should all get together and buy an IT island. That should be fun. There would be enough of us nerds to be able to tow out a fiber line. I came back from Mexico a few days ago. I rode in a Boeing 747-8 MAX 9. It was a newer one. It had longer legroom. Nice. See, I feel like a lot of airlines are forgetting the amenities. Because, like, who is it I just read? Who is it? Southwest was the final holdout for checked luggage and everything. Southwest is now changing their policies. Checked bags. So Southwest allowed for 2 free checked bags. So this was the first time they changed that. So now it's $35 for the first checked bag, $45 for the second checked bag. Oh, but Business Select is apparently... Let me make sure, because like the AI summaries suck. Hold on. For reservations booked and ticketed, voluntary changes on or after May 15, apply to basic choice and choice preferred fares. Choice extra and rapid rewards A-list preferred members receive 2 free checked bags. Okay, so checked bag benefits will not apply on books with a firm member. So they're still allowing the 2 checked bags, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to figure this out. Oh, so they're changing everything. But yeah, this is like so stupid. So like the whole thing with Southwest was you kind of had anything seating. Now they're charging more premium for different seats and everything. So they offer you like extra leg room, preferred seat, a standard seat. I heard there was like one that's actually trying to like have you do standing room only. So I can usually fly business class, so I think it wouldn't be that much different. But yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out is the bag situation. Did you see the new South Park app? The one with Christy Gnome? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this because I definitely am comparing airlines that I want to move to for my regular flights and everything. Yeah, the ICE episode, that's the most recent one because I think the next episode comes out on the 21st. The one when she like shot up like 5 or 6 dogs throughout the episode. Yeah, and then like got Botoxed up. That was hilarious. That was hilarious for sure. All right. Let me see. So, you know what I'm curious about? What game we should play. Because I'm feeling like a game, and I'm tied between Spyro Reignited Trilogy, because I haven't played Spyro in like so many years. Path of Exile 2, which I've been doing for a little bit. But then there's also... Yeah, I think it's between those two. Debating. Do I have a controller? Yeah, I have a controller. So I have to figure that out. But, yeah. The ICE episode. I got bored and started doing a restoring project. What are you restoring? SCP, Fragmented Minds on Steam. What's that? I kind of don't want to pick up another game because I have so many other games that I still need to, you know, finish. Fragmented Minds. What's this? You arrive at Mars Site 113, decaying monument to SCP's foundation, ambition, and its failures. Huh. Interesting. My old PS2 with mod add-ons. Oh, nice. I wish I still had my original Xbox. The OG Xbox with the Pentium 3 processor, that one. I should have kept that. I modded that to Kingdom Come, but like, you know, hindsight's 2020. Alright, let's see. You'll have to show us that, console when you get it set up. I'm going to use Free McBoot. That is an open source memory card I got. Free McBoot. Is it McLovin? That's interesting. They don't have the Spyro Reignited trilogy on there. You know, Path of Exile 2 has also fallen off, I've noticed, with people playing that game. Yeah. Sent you a key for it, 2/12/25. I can't wait for Chapter 2 release from beta. Oh, you did? Oh, then I didn't redeem it. Did you send it over on Discord? Ah, yeah, you did. I literally said I would download it later. Okay, I found it. Now, how do I claim my keys? Games. Activate a product. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. I had an iPod Classic. Long story short, someone out it under the oh, it got shattered. Well, those aren't too hard to fix. I've repaired quite a few of them. I was actually keeping my iPod alive for like 20 years until it got to the point where, well, it was just becoming more of a pain to actually get working. Alright, Car, I got it installing now. Thank you. I did say I'd install it later. Okay. You got a delivery? I'll see you in a bit. Free McBoot is an exploit through the memory card slot that adds a menu so you can play games through HDD, USB, NAS. Okay, so that reminds me of, like, we've had a few games where you actually had to, grab the, Hold on, did I just stutter? Hold on. Am I stuttering, chat? Yeah. I think for some reason when I went to download Steam, because it was, yeah, I didn't have it limited. That could have been the reason. Yeah, so it stuttered for a little bit, and I think that was because I was starting to download the game. But I didn't limit it. Okay. So let's try. Okay, I'm gonna try downloading again. I wish Apple didn't discontinue the iPod. Yeah, the iPod was, I think, a marvel of technology. Reminds you of what now? Oh yeah, so what I was talking about was there was a few games that you specifically had to have for, like, I remember this was like in the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, as well as Xbox and Xbox 360 to exploit them. You needed to have specific games that had exploits that were part of the modding the console, or like you'd have to run this CD and then you could hot swap a disc to play a burned copy, things like that. I remember these little mods and tricks you had to do back in the day. Hell, I remember the Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death. I fixed it myself. I had to add some new retention clips to the 360, and then what I had to do was turn on the 360 for like 30 seconds, turn it off, turn it back on. Worked every time. The iPods were awesome, and then they came out with the iPhone, and that changed everything. Yeah, totally. Like, I remember I was rocking my iPod all the time. Then I got the iPhone because I thought it'd be so cool to have all of my music from my iPod in my phone, and then I wouldn't have to carry more than one device. Now, I have gone full circle, and I would rather have separate devices. It's funny how that works. But also, when I started with the iPhone, you still could have your music work on your iPod. And then it wasn't until shortly after Apple started requiring DRM versions of music be put on your iPhone, and then it wasn't compatible with your iPod. I think the iPod was probably my favorite Apple-specific device that came out. I was very happy when they released it beyond just Mac, because at first the Apple iPod, if you remember, only worked on Mac. You had to use iTunes on Mac, and it required FireWire. And then they moved over to USB because almost no Windows computer had FireWire. I remember we had to add cards or get special motherboards in order to have FireWire capability. And in all honesty, FireWire was way better than USB 2. So USB had a lot more overhead than FireWire. And FireWire, you could daisy chain your devices. Whereas USB, you had to have hubs and everything. So you could like plug in one device to your FireWire and then daisy chain it, similar to what you can do with like Thunderbolt and stuff, I think it is. Apple was really ahead of the time then. Apple used to be a really great innovator. They used to be really great. I used to be all in on Apple. Like, I used to recommend Apple left, right, and center. Then Apple started soldering their components in, and then started making janky decisions that didn't make sense, because a lot of businesses, even to this day, need to have local servers. And you could have Apple Xserve. And you could have a fully complete Apple ecosystem. But then Apple wouldn't play nice with Microsoft Active Directory in many cases. And it still can have its issues at times and everything like that. And I still to this day say Apple is not designed for business. They do have a better MDM deployment capability, which Dell and Lenovo have picked up on, as well as HP, where you could actually build your MDM profile, have that on your Mac before it's even shipped to you, and then you can ship it straight from Apple with your config and everything locked to your company, and then it installs everything. That part they were okay on. But they like half-assed a bunch of other stuff. Like there's a bunch of times where we have to hold back system updates on Mac because we'll find like our antivirus, CrowdStrike, stuff like that, isn't certified yet on Apple. So we have to hold back users from updating Otherwise, then they're not in compliance with corporate policies. And then because, CrowdStrike's technically not running on their system, and Okta will then not allow them to process through for the conditional access because we're doing posture checks and stuff. So it's really weird in that way, and Apple doesn't really qualify a lot of their software changes they do against a lot of corporate software. So what often happens is we'll have an update release for Apple, and then we're scrambling at the last minute to see if everything on the business side thing works, and then have to make these last minute changes for things. Whereas Windows and Linux, there's at least a stable pathway to know that, these things will work. Yeah, if I got a bigger SD card, I can put my games on the memory card. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of amazing when you remember the PlayStation 2 memory cards were only like a few megabytes. Hey man, you collect comics? Not so much anymore. I had a few Spider-Man and things like that. I had a flood take out most of my collection, and I just haven't rebuilt it. I got a few things that are like autographed that I managed to save, but yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, there was some floods in the basement before I actually fixed the water flow, the sewer, and yeah, that was a real bummer. You know what I still haven't finished playing is The Witcher. I've never really played The Witcher. That could be put on the list to play. We do need to get back into my gaming on Linux nights and everything because we haven't been doing that much. I still haven't played the entire trilogy. The Witcher? I haven't played any of them either. I was like deep into Elder Scrolls, and like, yeah, I was like, good there. Now, I'd like to see when they release Elder Scrolls 6. That should be fun. Alright, let's have a little bit of fun. So it's kind of interesting that Spyro, the Reignited trilogy, isn't even on their Twitch's database. That's interesting. I've never really played Spyro since I was a kid. That should be fun. Okay, so this is Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. Okay. So let's at least get that set up. And we can see how well that'll work. Oh, that's funny. The green site has the Reignited trilogy, but the purple site doesn't. Okay. And let's get that, open up there, and let's get my audio sent over. So for those of you that are not aware of what I'm doing, I have a little script over here to reset Pipewire and pipe the audio out to my other computer that does all the streaming and everything. So we got to do a little test to make sure we hear audio. You don't need to do this on Linux. This is just because I overcomplicate my streaming set. Alright. I have not played Spyro since I was a little kid, so this will be fun. Trying to find my controller. Hold on. I've got to buy Xbox 360 controller. My PS2 will be stock. It will be soft mod, not hardware. I might hardware later, but only Bluetooth controller, so I can turn my PS2 on with the controller. Oh yeah, I forgot that PS2 didn't have wireless controllers, did they? And if you did, they were all like third party. Okay. And we're waiting. We're waiting some. There we go. I have not played this since I was a little kid, so this should be interesting. This is Unreal Engine. You really have to scroll through this before it'll probably... Yep. I wonder, do as many kids nowadays game like they used to as kids? Probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna need some adult juice.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the 5 worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have 12.
Sony used to have the best games ever. I mean, I still think they have some of the best games, but they've kind of fallen off.
Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
Simple?
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
Oh, Brad!
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
One of these days we should play Conker's Bad Fur Day. If Nintendo won't sue me, that is.
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
All right. So yeah, this is definitely designed for a controller, as I figured, because it was a console game.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, so I kind of remember this game. It's been a long time, though.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And...
Yeah, I kind of already figured that out.
Afraid of what?
falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
I'm gonna let your butt on fire. I knew I was missing a gem. You know, it's kind of interesting because I remember this game kind of being more blocky, I think.
Hi, Spyro.
But maybe that's because they redid the entire game with the Unreal Engine. Was this on the PlayStation or the PlayStation 2? I can't remember. Get back here. I need to set your ass on fire. Get back here. Is it running smooth at least for y'all? You get these gems. Uncut gems.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks. He's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
So I do want to see what the graphics are. So 1080. Yeah, let's turn the motion blur off. Okay, so I guess it's maxed out. There we go. The map makes it a little easier. I forgot there's all these tiny little puzzles around. Oh yeah, uncut gem. You know, we're never gonna be able to live down that whole, like, uncut gems thing. That's kind of annoying. I can't, you know... That was interesting. I set a sheep on fire. Kind of reminds me of when you attack the chickens, the cuckoos in Legend of Zelda, and eventually they attack you.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The artisan's boss is through a portal in the dragon mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
Oh, we gotta make me an artisan. Alright, so let's go gem hunting. How's this dude?
If you prove your worth by rescuing, then you may use this.
Oh, so I gotta rescue the other dragons before I can move on. Straightforward. So wait, B and right button do the same thing. If you... Okay, so that's a roll. That's a look. Alright, let's go to another land, I guess. See, how come we can fly there? But, you know, I can't, you know, fly in general. I can just glide. I'm basically just falling with style. I am Buzz Lightyearing it. Oh, see, now I'm flying. Okay, come on, just 2 more. Got it. Sub-Zero crash. Wait, was that it? Oh, you can get Blaines and all. Okay. Interesting. I haven't played this since I was a little kid, so I'm like totally lost. Get back here. I'm gonna bully those orcs. Okay, so what's this level do? Yeah, I haven't played Spyro since I was a little kid, and I have the Reignited trilogy in my, Steam, so I decided let's do that for gaming on Linux. Wee, wee. That was my daughter's favorite game. It's a great game. I haven't played this since I was little, but I remember it was fun. What I don't remember is what you do with all the gems.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you.
Oh, God.
No thanks. See ya.
See, I had the same reaction. He's gonna tell us a story, and it's gonna take up all our time. Hey. I think I got another life. What's up, Kara? We're playing Spyro. Alright, rescued Lindar.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
Do I need like a super fire or something? Is there no project channel in Discord? We've kind of just been using the tech one for that, but we can always make a projects channel. The issue is that you know, it wasn't getting so busy in a few of the channels, and I'd rather there be channels with lots of activity than so many channels with not a lot of activity. As we grow the Discord community and everything, yeah, we'll totally add plenty more channels. There should be a home lab channel. Tech, gaming, wherever. What the hell is that? Is there like a hidden secret or something? This was Kremlock. Changed my handle from being asked all the time if I'm Russian. Kremlock is in the Kremlin, comrade. Makes sense. So I feel like we're gonna have another thing to break open those little crates. Don't you find it funny we were letting kids, you know, set stuff on fire? How many dragons have I saved so far?
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
There we go. Okay, that's a different level here. Man, I remember when this game was like so advanced. That's Sonic? Can't be. Oh, that's what was making that noise. Is that guy just gonna keep running forever? Looking tech. Oh, this game was on PS2. That explains it. Because it feels like it's a little too smooth for PlayStation 1. Ah, invisible wall. Sonic was such a fun game to play. Oh yeah, it totally was. I'm not gonna be able to catch that dude. Okay, so where do we have to head now? See a gem over there. Okay, so I guess I can run back to... Did I not get all the dragons, I guess? I gotta go find some more. Look in tech, you can see how far I got. Alright, take a look in a sec. Kind of interested to see how far I can get in this. Okay, so that returns me back. I have 261 uncut gems. Hey, I think that's another life. The Dark Hollows. You know, I still can't believe how much of the issues I had to do with the fact that, my ISP just was crap. And it had gone to crap for, like, I think about a year and a half or so. I was dealing with issues, and I just finally got tired. That sword and shield ain't helping you now, bud. I wonder how many of these are princes that I just killed. Okay, I'm gonna need a key. I thought I was, like, done for over there. Okay, we got another dragon. How many dragons are we at now?
Oh, it's you. I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures. Of course they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Their metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
A charge attack? Oh, I see. Press X. Okay, so we're gonna pop up here.
Big enemies like this Norp with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
I presume we get stronger attacks over time. Because I have not played this in years. This is just like all rediscovering. I don't know. Do you think Mario is a better game for kids, or do you think Spyro? Let me know what you think, chat. Oh, Sonic was a good choice too, yeah. I just lit his butt up. Spyro's better than Mario. Better. Mario teaches you bad. What bad things does Mario teach you? Okay. Rescued Oswin.
Spyro, wanna know a secret? Use the action button when you want to zoom in and look around.
Oh, your secret's safe with me.
Hooray, we got the key. Popping shrooms and wandering around, jumping on turtles. I guess those are bad habits. But, I mean, it depends on, you know, where you stand on shrooms. I mean, to some people, those are great. Alright, let's go get the chest. So if he has no opposable thumbs, how does he use a key? Doink. Ah! Fell. I was trying to be all fancy and run around. He uses telekinesis. Alright, let's get back. I'm kind of surprised the game takes as long to load as it does, but... because I'm using an SSD. God damn it. Are you kidding me? Yep, I ain't gonna make that. Hehe. But yeah, repair my PS2. I need to find my old power supply because I'm cleaning and fixing a PS2 Slim. Should be able to also find those on eBay if you can't. Okay, what's here? Entering the town square. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Chicken. There's a joke about Spyro and that deer girl doing... Wait, what?
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro.
Begin exploring by gliding to that area with the bulls. Use the right stick to get a good look.
Oh, that's how you get those. Okay. So you gotta run into the crates. Their horns are stuck into the ground. There we go. Okay. This is my comfort game. Oh, this is Spyro.
Thanks, Spyro.
I haven't played this since I was a little kid.
The worst itch on the tip of my wing.
I was on 4-hour Tribes 2 marathon the other day. So much fun. Oh yeah, Tribes 2 is a great game. I play it once in a while. I played it last stream. Now there's that little dude. Now that I know I can charge, I should be able to get after him. Who wants fried chicken? God damn it. Couldn't line up for that. Alright, let's free that dragon. There's a guy playing this game and saw how they were talking to each other and said, oh, they're effing. And then her friend said, nah, listen. And they said, yeah, they were.
You've got to track him down and get that.
Yep, that's how I found out the game was still around. Blew my mind. Oh yeah, a lot of people are still surprised that Tribes and Tribes 2 are still kicking. And they're still great games. Okay, can't jump up there. So, how do I get up there? Okay, so there's got to be a way to get around. Can't get up there. Sierra Dynamics made primo games back in the day. Oh yeah, they made epic games back in the day. Old games are still around, even PS2 games back online. Yeah, because a lot of people have been restoring them. Wait, did I just... Please don't tell me I lost a life. God damn it. Why can't I jump up there? Oh yeah, but that's also why we want to keep Stop Killing Games. I mean, we don't want to keep Stop Killing Games. We want to keep supporting the Stop Killing Games movement. Because a lot of these games, you know, they're starting to die out because people are like, well, we shouldn't have to support these anymore. And I just don't agree with that statement. Oh, come on! Get over here. Give me your gems. Bitch. Okay, that door ain't working. Okay, so we've rescued 10 dragons, so now we can go here. See what's up here. Confronting Toasty. Is it like a tostada? Or wait. Maybe they call him Toasty because he's baked. Go set your butt on fire. All right. Come on. Uncut gems. Nevin. I thought that said Kevin.
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. Toasty has many tricks up his sleeve.
Dragons have sleeves. God damn it. There we go. But yeah, the PS2 servers going down was not the fault of PlayStation. It was the software that went down. Stopped online for those guys. People reversed engineered the software to get everything back online. Interesting. Yeah, it makes sense. Similar to what they did for Tribes 2 to get it back online, as they figured out how to patch the master servers, and then that got everything back online. Nope. It was GameSpy server software that went down. Now there's OpenSpy. I got an idea. Can this work? No, because he stops immediately. God damn it, that didn't work.
Wow! I see you've been busy rescuing. You may travel to the... Are you ready to go?
I just jumped on the... Wait, I'm a dragon that can fly. Why do I need to go in a hot air balloon? This makes no sense. OpenSpy.net. I'll take a look in a sec.
Look how our treasure has been stolen and turned against us. Please, recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
I'll have to tell the dragon twice. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I can set the things on fire. That's kind of fun.
Well, Magic Crafter's world is far away, and maybe if you find 1,200 stolen treasure...
Okay, so I gotta find more stolen treasure. Do you think Fedora or Mint is preferable for daily driving? They're both fine. It's personal preference, really.
Hey, Spyro. Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you. Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterfly.
Hey, got another life. Okay, I know what not to do. I was just curious what it could do. Make video games. I 100% would have OpenSpy servers that the community can host it. I can see that. Oh, I see. Eh, that's kind of fun. Hold on, I got a skill point? What's a skill point do? Alright, let's see what's in the canyon. We're halfway there. Whee! Okay, I was curious how that worked. Ooh, there was another chest over there. God damn it! Really? I was trying to chase that dude and see if I can catch him. I think I'm gaining on him just ever so slightly. Ooh, that was close. Hey, got him. Sound like you used Red Hat. No, I'm using Pop OS. Alright, let's go. Let's get this dragon.
What? Huh? Oh. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
That's it? Everyone else had more story. No, 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 no. Ah, that was close. Uncut gems. Why my Linux can't do that? I take it we'll be coming back that way. Ah! Yeah, it's Spyro. I haven't played this since I was a little kid. Alright, come on. Get your ass on fire. Okay, so I can't really jump on that. Oh, the Leisure Suit Larry games? Like, some of the first really mature games, period? Yeah. Would be wild to see a new one. See, the thing is, Leisure Suit Larry, don't get me wrong, great game series and everything. It's a little bit too tame for this era. Like, Grand Theft Auto is more risque than Leisure Suit Larry. But yeah, I remember the old Leisure Suit Larry games. Those were games I was not allowed to play as a kid. They have new ones with him finding a smartphone. Are you serious? I thought that was a game series that kind of went away. That's cool to learn. Nope, gonna have to go back to the top. Oh wait, I can fly out there. Set the fireworks on fire. Okay, so either this is gonna work or I'm gonna lose a life. God damn it! No! 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 Yeah, he found it in a bathroom and got on a dating app. Start with when I'm waking up in a freezer. Really? Back then it was taboo territory. Oh yeah. Oh, there's another dragon in here? So I guess we'll have to play that sometime.
Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about?
You've been a crystal statue. How did you hear about me?
We've known,
You've known...
I forget.
Remember it was on Steam, maybe it's on GOG now. I haven't really bought too many games on GOG. Not that I have anything against it. That's a weird glitch. Alright. What number dragon is this?
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
You're a crystal statue, you heard nothing. I mean, am I wrong? All right, let's go. Whee! So 300 gems more, give or take, and then we can go on to the next area, I guess. I love how we just go around terrorizing them and they're like shaking in their boots. Wait, am I the bad guy? Look, I mean, if Mario is bad because he's teaching people to pop shrooms and jump on turtles, then Spyro lighting people's tents on fire, is that really much better? Like, you understand, we're teaching kids how to war crime here, right? Like, if anything, we are just giving lessons on how they should be Canadians in a war. If you don't know that joke, go look up the Geneva Convention and what Canadians did during World War I and World War II. There's a reason why we jokingly referred to it as the Canadian checklist. The Geneva Conventions. I found the name. Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Okay, can you check and see if that is a game I'm allowed to stream on Twitch? Because I know there's a list of games we're not allowed to stream. It's on YouTube. Okay, so if you get bonked enough, you lose a life. Good to know. He just runs off the cliff. So wait, is that like the mom? Just like spanks him on the ass? Okay, so we need to get that key. Oh! God damn it! I have to redo that whole thing. There we go. At least we got that. What's this? Hooray! We got the key, and I didn't die this time. It's on GOG for $1.49 now. Huh. I wonder if I can play that on stream, because that'll be hilarious.
Dr. Shem thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I tell you one thing, he should watch his back.
God damn it. Hold up. I just see something else over there? Let's see. Want the link? Yeah. I'll take a look at it after the stream. God damn it! No! Just lit his butt on fire. I'm gonna set your ass on fire. I'm gonna turn you into a Newport. God damn it. Haha. His ass is on fire. God damn it. What's annoying is I gotta set his ass on fire. Okay, so I gotta wait for him to turn around. There we go. God damn it, did I really just fall off? God damn it. How am I losing, like, most of my lives just doing this? You giving me the I'm looking at you eyes? God damn it! Like I gotta like jump or something, I guess. It's an 8-hour game. Yeah, well, I suck. What do you want from me? There's a different way to do each one, so I think the next one I gotta jump over his little thing. Oh no, the laser shoot Larry is 8 hours. Oh, okay. Okay, that's something. There we go. And we got the key. No! No! God damn it! No! Fuck me. Are you kidding me? Now I gotta redo that whole thing? I have a partner. Well, F you. Okay, another invisible wall.
I can't believe how fast you found. Hop aboard for the Magic Crafter's world if you're ready.
I don't understand why a flying dragon needs to have a balloon. Can someone explain that to me? Because a flying dragon should be able to fly. But all I can do is glide. I am falling with style. I am the Buzz Lightyear of dragons. Still no thanks, I have a partner. Well, you know, I'm Polly. So. The dragon gets tired. Rescued Cosmos.
magic crafters. I want you to release the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
I'm gonna get that little bastard. Gotcha. You gotta get around the corner quicker. God damn it, I did not just do that. Alpine Ridge. All right, what are we doing here? The right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the left. See, he can fly, but then, like, I can only glide. No, 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 no! God damn it. But why'd you, adjust the stairs if you, like, were scared of me coming up? Schmuck.
Oh, Spyro! You're not afraid of...
Yeah, even if I get PS2 working, I just remembered I need to get the screws to hold the case together. You should be able to pick those up on eBay. There's quite a few vendors that do that stuff still. There is less than $2 in GOG. Think I can afford that on Hooray. Okay, we got another dragon. I saw that sells PS2 case screws on Amazon.
For releasing me.
Oh, there's a ruby over there. Lit them ashes on fire. We just rescued Zane and now we got Xander. I'm gonna make sure everything works before the show. Yeah, you definitely should.
You'll learn all the tricks of the Magic Crafter's world.
Well, we have the Magic Crafter's world yet. I think that's where I started. Those are big scary monsters, but they still get killed with one hit. Nice. Got another life. I should have held on to my old consoles to tinker with. Yeah, I was saying the same thing earlier too. I'm curious. That was not what I was curious about. That was not what I was curious about either. That was what I was curious about.
Remember that these blue thieves have stolen eggs outside the Magic Crafter's world as well.
Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
The board and C resistor missing. Oof. Can you figure out which one it is? Because you may have to replace some capacitors too. I'm slowly gaining on him. Ever so slowly. See? Got him. God damn it. No! I have no extra lives. Cool. God damn it, I gotta get that thief again. I caught this dude before. So close. Come on. He's gonna lower it in a sec. God damn it. Get back over here, you little bastard. So close. Come on. Come on, you bastard. So close. Hey. Thanks for the info on Larry, but he said, oh. Yeah. Laser shoot Larry. Who's laughing now, bitch? All these dragons here start with a Z.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent.
Go ahead, try it.
Oh. Nice. All right, let's see what's in this area over here. In 1787, the Constitution... No, that was 1789. Was that 1789 it was ratified? Yeah, it was. At 1787, I think, was the Articles of Confederation. I don't know why I brought that to mind, but here I am. What distro do I use? Oh, I use Pop OS for my gaming and stuff, but, I also use cubes and stuff. Damn. So fire beats ice and wind. Got it.
Please do something about these green druids. They insist on moving everything in sight.
Yeah, I kind of realized that. I wonder how many people became a pyromaniac because they played Spyro. %30 of people. Oh, you know what they say, 70% of statistics are all made up. Is this Ubuntu? No, this is Pop OS.
I hate those bugs. When I become big and strong like you, I'll squash them all.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
Okay, so I wonder if when we go back over here, there's some fairies over here. Are you going to be good fairies or bad fairies? Okay, cool. Rescued Cedric.
Try combining your supercharge with jumping.
Using that instead of Ubuntu. Yeah, I like Pop! OS a lot more. It's basically Ubuntu with a lot more polish. Been using it for a few years. All right, let's see. Where are we at now? Ya blue egg bastard. Pop is a great daily driver. I use Mint myself, but nothing but good things. I'd heard nothing. Yeah. Well, I used to use Mint many years ago. But I just like Pop! OS a lot more. I know a lot of people coming from the Windows world tend to use that. Mint. No! Oh. These are good fairies. Interesting. Okay, I see. So, I gotta figure out how to get to the, God damn it. That was not what I was trying to do. Oh, wait. I got an idea. That was a good idea. F you. Okay, what's this fairy do? You just gave me a kiss? That's the power of love, baby! It's better than the power of Pine Sol. Yeah, Mint ain't bad stuff, just works God Arch on an older machine and a test server running Fedora. Yeah, my issue with Mint is more so that, like, a lot of the people that use it are coming from the Windows world. And I feel like they're using it because it looks similar to the UX they had in, Windows. But the reality is, Windows has a horrible UI and user experience. And I really think that a lot of people should be exploring more options. Damn it. Did I really just, like, lose all my lives? Come on, buddy. Come on. I'm not getting dizzy at all. You're getting dizzy. What are you laughing at? I just set your ass on fire. Boldar.
This portal leads to a special place where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to fly. Got it.
Alright, now play Foo Fighters. Learn to fly. To the left, to the right. Ah! I hit the X button on accident. No! God damn it. Let's try this again. Damn it. We almost got it. I was debating on taking an experiment day to, Hold on, I'll read that in a sec. God damn it. You gotta be, like, so particular with this. God damn it. Trying to be all fancy and shit. Damn it. I was debating on taking a day to experiment with a tiling manager like Sway or something. I played with Sway a little bit on my, what do you call it? Pocket Reform laptop. Ended up just going to GNOME. It's just a personal preference thing. Okay, so Wizard, what is this? Wizard something? Wizard Peak. To the right, to the left. Oh, damn. Let's try this again. Alright, let's go wake up this dragon. Jarvis.
Welcome to Wizard Peak. This is my favorite supercharged spot. Use it to bash those wizards.
Hmm. What the hell? One shot? You're on a streak with Spyro. It's just a fun game. I haven't played this game since I was a little kid, so this has been fun. Sure, just stand there. Look like schmucks. Texas.
Well done, Spyro. Thank you for releasing me.
Okay, I got an idea. I don't know if I'm gonna like this idea, but it's an idea nonetheless. Okay, so we gotta get the supercharge over here. Okay. So now, let's try supercharging. Nope. How the hell did I do that? Best distro for actually learning Linux, not just Mac PC. Really, most of them will do the same things. I use Pop! OS personally, but you'll basically be able to cover most, if not all, the same things on all of them. There's minor differences between all of them, like the package manager and stuff. How the hell? Fuck this guy. God damn it. Man pages are great in terminal to learn, like Man app. Yep.
Area in the artisan's home world near the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan's homeworld? Waterfall. Sounds good.
Typing will tell you all about the pack manager, yeah. How the hell did I just drown again? Blowhard. We'll try this one last level. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the right. Now dip, now dip, now dip. Walk it by yourself. You run any uncensored LLMs locally? I've done Gemma, DeepSeek. There's been a few I've looked at. Okay, so... Yeah, you just stand there looking like a schmuck, I guess. Altair.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped in Crystal. And, neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
I plugged the PS2 in and it hissed at me. Yeah, it's a Spyro. Yeah, I haven't played this since I was a little kid, and I saw it was on sale on the Steam a while ago, so I bought the trilogy. And I'm just replaying it because I haven't played this since I was a kid.
Those sneaky thieves are hiding out all over.
Oh, so I gotta get 5 of them? Not fixing the capacitors. I'd rather save up, get a $152 $6 PS2. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, you can travel between the worlds. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I'm like, how the hell do I do that? Only played the first two. I enjoy them so much. It's been some 25 years. Yeah, they have a trilogy. I think it was like only $10. That's right, you better run, you blue bastard. I'm almost on ya. God damn it. It's that little quick turn he takes. Come on. Andale, andale. Come on, Spyro. There we go. But I think it's getting a little bit late here, so I think I'm gonna be calling it a night, but this was fun. We'll definitely be doing this some more later, although I'll probably be tossing this between Path of Exile 2. There's a few games that we want to play. My library is so large. And then I think, what is it? Borderlands 4 is coming out soon too, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely be playing that as well. And I hope in the next month or two, we'll have some upgrades and other stuff planned for when we tinker with the laptops. I have a laptop repair we're going to be doing for my Paired OS. The battery's going to be replaced. And then we're going to be, yeah. And then the ham radio should be set up. I'm going to get that hopefully sometime in September. I got to get a scissor lift so I can fix the antennas on my house. There should be some funny content around that. But thank you all for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on all of my socials. The links are in bio if you're over on TikTok or such. I'm on Blue Sky, Mastodon, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Kick. Of course, we have the Discord server and the Matrix server as well if you're not already part of it. And the links are in bio for all of this as well. If you're over on Twitch, stick around for the raid. And I will see you all soon. The next stream is tomorrow. We do Mondays. Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays, and sometimes Fridays. So thank you all for joining me. Love you all. Happy hacking. And stay safe out there. Also, YouTube video will be out probably Wednesday or so. I just got to edit it. But it's done. Recorded. Just editing. So it's not done, but yeah. Anyway, see you later. I got to go to bed. Have a good night. Stick around for the raid.